So hectic. Hey, Kathy. I'm coming. Give me 1 second. Girl, I had so much problems just now doing this thing. Hold on. Hey, Kathy. I'm coming. Give me 1 second. Girl, I had so much problems just now doing this thing. Hold on. Hey, Kathy. I'm coming. Give me 1 second. Girl, I had so much problems just now doing this thing. Hold on. Hey, Kathy. I'm coming. Give me 1 second. Girl, I had so much problems just now doing this thing. Okay. Hey, Tracy. Hey, y'all. All right, I guess we can get started. Let's wait for a few more minutes. Wait for a few more minutes and we can get started. Y'all, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Let me see. Did I put my anchors? Okay. All right. Tracy in the building. Kathy in the building. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. What's up, Brooklyn Squad? It's your girl Jay once again. We're back at another live. 3 days in a row with a live. All day today. We are going to be doing videos. If it's not a live, check out my shorts and my videos, okay? Welcome to Brooklyn Squad, real life drama, where we do crime over here. We get the faces out of the victims, the families that are suffering, that needs to have their family members out there. The media. We do the media's job. Basically, we are the media. Right? We have a problem with the media not doing their part, and the problem with the police sometimes not doing their part. So we help families get the story out. But behind the scene, I do other things besides that. I contact families, make sure they're good. If I have to call the sheriff office, if I have to make any phone calls, I do that. I go beyond. And I'm grateful for that. So please subscribe to this channel. Share this video. Hit that notification bell so you know that I'm dropping a video. And also, if the time changes, it'll let you know that, okay, the time changes and here's the new time. There's a Cash App, PayPal up there. If you feel like you're in a donation mood and you want to throw a little something to me, I appreciate that. There is no push and shove to it. That's if you feel like it. This is a happy moment. This is the part where you share the problem and then you come back and you share the solution, right? Hey, my girl, Sharon Nation. Let me drop the link real quick and then we're going to get right into it. It's weird because I had this post and I had her picture posted hours ago and I didn't hit the right button I had to redo everything 2 minutes before I got on live. So that's why Jackie's picture is not up, guys. But I had wrote something different. I had her picture up there, forgot to hit a certain button. When I got on live, I realized I didn't hit it. So I had to write, it's just a mess. But you know what? We're here. Jackie Reyes. We all know who Jackie is. If you've been living in the cloud, then you need to go back and look at my videos. I first heard about this young lady from moved to Florida on Artix Fox show. Artix Fox was doing an interview with her mother, Jackie. I reached out to her, and then I did a few interviews with her. And then me and Sharon Nation had our true crime marathon, and she also was on here. But besides being on here talking about her daughter's disappearance, she also stayed in the chat and supported as well. So she is a true Brooklyn Squad supporter. Also, Alex Doc has been helping her as well. Her daughter has been missing. Let's go back, because I want to make sure I get these straight. Jackie Reyes' disappearance. Jackie Reyes' disappearance. Okay, I want to make sure we get this straight. Let's not forget her mother was also on the news. So it's a big thing, okay? Disappearance of Jackie Reyes in Boynton Beach, Florida remains a mystery over months later. The 30 years old was last seen in Boynton Beach, Florida when she left her aunt's house after an argument. She hasn't been seen since. On July 29th, the Palm Beach County Sheriff Office posted on Facebook that detectives has conducted an exclusive investigation attempted to locate Jackie. And that during the investigation, a lead was developed that provided very promising, that said that based on that lead, detectives believe they found her. Now, this was back in July, they said. According to Palm Beach County Sheriff Office, on July 15th, 2022, security footage captured Jackie at a business, which was the dispensary, which they have footage of. A female detective strongly believed that's Jackie. They noted she was alone and did not seem to be under any stress or danger, and that Jackie was using her cell phone and communicating freely. I heard differently, but let's continue. Palm Beach County investigators believe that Jackie is choosing not to communicate with family or friends. The post also said that although Jackie does not seem to be in danger, the missing person investigation remains open until physical contact by law enforcement is made. Let me read that again. The missing person investigation remains open until physical contact by law enforcement is made. Even though she's 30 years old, she still is missing. She's still my child, Jackie Reyes said, told Dateline. We're a close family, she told Dateline. Her husband, Richard, who died in 2020, adopted her daughter when she was young. Jackie grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona, with older sisters, Carrie and Rhonda. It's a very quiet town, Jackie said. They was a very growing up, they were very close. They enjoyed the scenery. She has a nature spirit. Didn't Arctic Fox put out as found a few months back, and Miss Jackie said it wasn't true? I'm going to get into that too, Kathy, because I spoke to Arctic Fox FaceTime when he put that post out. I'm going to get into that. Jackie wanted to know her biological father side of the family. She really didn't know that side of the family. So she chose to go over there to Florida and was missing when her and the aunt got into the argument, right? We know that. For those of you that didn't know, whoever's going to watch this video later. Well, a while back, Arctic Fox made a post and said she was found. I have that post because me and him talk. Let's go back. I'm thinking this was around November. There's so many messages, but let me see. Okay, yes. This was in January. Around January or November, around there. Now I have the messages right here. When I spoke to him about that, he assured me that his team of investigators did see her. Hold on. No, he didn't personally see her, but he contacted the LE agency that advised that had made contact with her. So Arctic Fox didn't see her himself. He contacted his people's agency that made contact with her. But because Jackie, the mother, said, I didn't speak to my child at all, I need to speak to her, and I understand that, I would have done the same thing. When I speak to her, then you could put the post up. I get that as a parent. And Arctic Fox understood that too. That's why he removed the post. But he said, she just needs some time by herself. She don't want to be bothered. But we continue to still fight and continue to still post for Jackie because that's what her mother wanted. We fight for the family. We fight for the victims. I spoke to Jackie today. She said her daughter called her. She's found, and she said she was safe. When I found out she was found safe, I was thrilled. I said, God is good, baby. God is good. Because this is the happy ending, right? This is what we come back and tell you the good news, right? This is what Alana Lanier's mother was talking about on the interview, right? But then, so wait a minute. Okay. I started not to get that happy no more. Jackie's mother said her daughter needs privacy, and that's not why I'm not happy. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get to it. Her daughter's very upset because her mother went looking for her, and she put her business out there on the internet. Her mother went looking for her because that is her mother and that is her job. That's what she did. That's what she do. I said to her, well, do you feel like she's being told to do this because it's getting real hot? And see, traffickers, that's what they do. Girl, you better make this shit right. Call your family and tell them you're good. She said no. She don't feel like that's the case because she has the number where her daughter is. I said, okay. That's how she feels as a mother. Understand that. And I respect that because I grew to have love for her. You know, I wish I had a mama like her. Fight for your baby. But I'm going to be honest. And I come on here and I tell y'all the truth on how I feel. And I never lie to y'all, Brooklyn Squad, right? Because I say that we fight for the victims. And sometimes the families don't like what we say. And that's okay. My heart feels that something ain't right. Why all this time? She's been on the news, all over the internet. And now she comes to say something. Yes, she does have her daughter's number, but tomorrow that number might not work no more. God forbid. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm just saying. I am suspicious about this. I'm hoping I'm wrong. But this is my opinion, allegedly. I have a right to say my opinion. And allegedly, this is just how I'm thinking. It's just something that I'm feeling because it's like, remember how Florida is big on trafficking? And now she's in LA. So could it be that the part that I read you where it says the investigation will still be open until the police see physical contact? I hope that remains true. I really hope that remains true. Jackie feels that because of her daughter's mental disorder, mental problems, her depression and stuff, she's not in the right state of mind. She was very rude to Jackie. She wasn't nice at all to her mother. She's very angry at her. Why would you put this on Facebook and the internet, have my business out there, this and this and that? Because she cares. But see, that's what a person that's holding your ass hostage would tell you. Get these people off your back. Because see, now her mother's going to take everything down. Because she feel that her daughter's found and safe, right? Is this what the traffickers want? Is this what they want? I want to know what y'all have to say. Anybody want to come up? I'm trying to look for something. Hold on, y'all. I want to see something. Hmm. I don't know, y'all. I mean, we knew that she was alive because we saw the footage of her. You know what I mean? Hey, babe. Dr. RBH in the building. I don't know, y'all. Shell Nation, you want to come up? Anybody got anything to say? I want to show something. I'm trying to find it. Hold on. Let me see. Hmm. Hmm. Let me see something here.
Each year, thousands of women are promised dancing jobs or tricked into coming to New York City.
Let's listen to y'all for a minute.
Or tricked into coming to New York City with the promise of love from an online relationship. You may have read or heard about Ariel Castro, the man in Cleveland who kidnapped at least 3 girls. Ariel Castro beat them, sodomized them, and impregnated them. He held the innocent young girls with metal locks, left them chained to walls, and even walked them, wearing nothing but dog collars and leashes in his backyard. Unfortunately, these girls who had their childhood stolen are not alone, and their story is not an isolated incident. It's happening right here in New York. Many of these women are immigrants who speak no English. Many are smuggled here through human trafficking. Still others are runaways recruited or snatched off the streets. Women and children trapped in a life of degradation, fear, and prostitution. Every year, girls as young as 5 and 6 are pimped out by vicious, abusive, money-hungry criminals. These pimps use drugs and violence to force these women and children into lives of degradation and prostitution. Now one woman is standing up to say, enough. Today, we need your help to not only save hundreds upon hundreds of women and children, but to prosecute vicious thugs who exploit them. By giving only $10 or $25, you can help us bring justice to the persecuted. For every pimp or trafficker arrested, there are 100 more who go undetected. Will you help us end this horrible crime that must be stopped? Sadly, New York City is the epicenter of this crime. There is only one candidate for citywide office in New York for whom the sex trafficking issue is a priority: Kristen Davis. Kristen Davis wants New York City to provide these women and young girls with a clean, safe place to live, STD testing, HIV testing, addiction therapy, and medical and psychological care. Will you stand with Kristen Davis against the sex traffickers? Kristen Davis is a candidate for public advocate.
Hey, Shay Shay.
She isn't afraid to talk about sex trafficking. By giving just $10 or $25, you will help bring public awareness to sex trafficking and help give those women and children hope for normal, successful lives. In appreciation for your donation today, we will send you a specially designed bracelet to show you have taken a stand in the fight.
So you do see trafficking happens everywhere. Now in New York as well. Big time. Florida, LA, everywhere. Everywhere. And that's the scary part about it. They also threaten their victims. They threaten their victims to tell this, go tell your family that we good. Hey, Anita. How are you? Long time no see, though.
This man's wife has been sold for $1,000 to one of Turkey's most notorious and violent sex traffickers. His only hope of ever seeing. I am Dr. DC Hamilton.
I'm trying to find
happened to two local women when they were barely teenagers. At the ages of 12 and 13, their innocence was stolen. They were forced into sex trafficking. This is a problem.
Did he have to force you to recruit? Or did you know that was just something that was next in line?
I actually brought it up to him because, like I said, I come from a good family and church-going family. And my stomping grounds for recruitment was churches.
Oh, wow.
Wow, churches.
Oh, yeah. That was my place of interest.
How would you approach somebody?
How would you approach?
How would you approach somebody at the church?
You just go home. You go to church every Sunday, do your homework on that one person. You see her or him going up to the altar Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. You know he's going for something. He's praying for something. And usually I had my times where I would do my recruiting. It's called shopping season. So I would go during Christmas, during Thanksgiving.
And what would you look
Halloween.
for? Because we're trying to teach here.
Yeah.
What would you look for specifically? How would you be able to tell?
Yeah. Just conversation, have a conversation with them. Come up to him, yo, or her, yo, you good? What you I see you going up to the altar a lot. Just making small talk. She's going to tell me eventually what she want, what she praying for. Say the shopping seasons, Easter time. You're either praying for that money for your spring break, that prom dress. You want something. Your mom need help with the bills, something. So I'm going to present it to you.
So you provided that thing that they were praying for.
But once you try to leave, you owe me.
Here's the thing, because we got to break this down, because I was reading that sex trafficking is when someone uses force, fraud, or coercion to cause a commercial sex act with an adult. And a minor causes a minor to commit a commercial sex act. How is this different from, because a lot of people think this and say, well, she was just a prostitute. How is being a prostitute different from being a victim of sex trafficking?
Prostitution and sex trafficking is two totally different things.
How is it? Break that down.
Hey, CC.
I can sleep with you today or tomorrow. You can give me money or a gift, car, house. You can be my sponsor, quote unquote. You can give me an allowance, quote unquote. I don't have to see you ever again, but you could continue to give it to me, even though we're not having sex. Sex trafficking, you're going to do it. You ain't getting paid for it. More than likely, you're going to be going from state to state, town to town. You're going to be in a stable. You're going to be on track.
You're being held against your will.
Held against your will.
Right. It's pretty much in prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
What was the age of the youngest girl you recruited?
Oh, I never touched anything under 17.
Okay.
Just my forte, because I've seen it done to kids younger, and that's my main thing that I teach now to parents and schools and everything. You know, the little form that you fill out when you register your kids in school. Always make sure you fill everything out, even the part of the nickname. Because if I go to that school and I ask for that kid and I don't say that nickname, they have to call the police, and they have to call the person who's the direct emergency contact.
So you were that bold that you would actually go to a school?
No.
I
Said.
But you've seen
I've
that.
seen it
Okay, you've seen that. Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, because
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure you were underage at that time, right?
Yes.
Your pimp at the time knew that, and he wanted you to recruit for him. You're recruiting for him. Why would he make you do things like that?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that. I was mostly the girl that went to the concerts, was going backstage with the quote unquote celebrities, the basketball games, hitting the block. You know, I was more of the trick of the trade, and I guess it was because of my look. Because when I was younger, I had the long, silky hair, the hair that the girls wear now with the weave.
Right.
I had that. And I had the body, all that.
What's the difference between recruiting and kidnapping?
It's not.
So it's the same.
It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
Even once you talk to them and they willingly go with you, that's still considered kidnapping.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're gonna want to go home. And you're gonna hit them with the brainwash technique. That's what we call it.
Okay.
How did that work?
You owe me.
Really?
Y'all hear that?
I did this, that for you. You owe me. By the time you sit down and think about it, you eat, drink. I've seen where they've actually drugged someone, and they woke up in a different state, went somewhere totally different. So,
Y'all hear that? Hold on, y'all. Did y'all hear what she said? How are you going to make decisions like that with the pimp? She did whatever he asked her to do. I hate when people try to make themselves look better by lying. Eva, I never touched anything under. Nah, I don't believe her. Right. I never touched anything under. Girl, stop. But did you hear what she said, though? The guilt thing. Hold on, let me rewind that part.
And he wanted you to recruit for him.
Hold on.
Recruit for him. Why would he make you do things like that?
I don't know. I
when she said they eventually going to want to go home.
I was mostly the girl that went to the concerts, was going backstage with the quote unquote celebrities, the basketball games, hitting the block. You know, I was more of the trick of the trade, and I guess it was because of my look. Because when I was younger, I had the long, silky hair, the hair that the girls wear now with the weave.
Right.
I had that. I had the body, all that.
What's the difference between recruiting and kidnapping?
It's not.
So it's the same.
It's the same. It's the same.
Even once you talk to them and they willingly go with you, that's still considered kidnapping.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're gonna want to go home.
Right.
And you're gonna hit them with the brainwash technique. That's what we call it.
There you go.
How did that work?
You owe me.
Really?
You owe me. I did this, that for you. You owe me. By the time you sit down and think about it, you eat, drink. I've seen times where they've actually drugged someone. They woke up in a different state, went somewhere totally different. So it's no. People always ask, why didn't you just leave? How come you can't just leave? You've told this man your whole freaking life. You've even introduced him to friends, family. That's gonna always be in the back of your mind with him saying, "Oh, if you do this, I'm gonna do this." You've made friends in the house, in the stables that you're in, so you don't want nothing to happen to them.
You fear for their lives.
So it's like, why even risk that? Yeah, knowing that if you leave, somebody else is going to pay the consequences that you've either taken a liking to, or it could be your family.
Now that you're out of the life, do you sometimes think about all of the women that you did recruit?
No.
Why not?
Because it'll set me back. It'll set me back from paying it forward.
Yeah.
So with me paying it forward is, I think about 1,500 plus that I've rescued. I think about the when I get the calls during Super Bowl from in all kinds of law enforcement agencies. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you help me with this? Have you heard that? Thinking about it actually fucked me up even more.
Right.
Is your pimp still around now?
I don't know.
So, but the thing is, so you've helped 1,500 get out of the life. How many do you think you helped recruit overall? Just
nowhere near.
Okay, nowhere near. Okay, no. But you finally got the courage, right? You was talking about everything that stopped you from leaving. You know, including fear for your life, your family, and other women in the state. What made you say, you know what, enough is enough, and I got to get out?
I didn't.
How did it happen?
The person who helped me came and got me from there. He actually didn't know that's what he was doing.
Okay.
When they place you in a stable, they usually place you with a family or somewhere where you're going to fit in. So when he actually came to the house looking for the friend of his that was there, and they wasn't there. So it was me, two guys, a man and his wife and her son, and we all stayed there. So he rescued me, thought I was their cousin. He thought I was a family member of the people that stayed there. He not once knew that I was actually there against my will.
So hold on, your pimp places these women with a family, an actual family that are in cahoots.
Yeah, because usually they're on drugs or something. So by me staying there, I was the payment that they would give, and he would give them drugs by allowing me to stay there.
So he would give the family drugs. Okay, that's how they got paid, and they ensured that you
would stay there.
They fed you, treated you like a family member, whatever. So all of a sudden,
treat me like a family member.
Okay, but you know, like So then a cousin of theirs comes over.
No, he's not a cousin.
Okay, so
the guy who he came there for the cousin.
He came there for the
family's cousin, someone else.
Okay,
yeah. Asked to go to the movies. The cousin wasn't there, and I wound up going to the movies and didn't come back.
You went to the movies with him?
With the guy. Yeah.
So when you're at the movies, because I'm trying to understand this.
Break it down. So how did that go?
She said, break it down.
Well, Kendall's not here, so you want to go to the movies? I was like, huh? Because he never talked to me when he came over. And I was like, what? And mind you, I had been asleep. And I had woke up from a nap when he knocked on the door. And he was like, you want to go to the movies? And I was like, just looking. I was like, all right. And I was like, who here? Because he was actually coming in. He was like, I don't know. Kendall's not here. So I just went back to the back. And I knew it was God's grace because they never leave me there by myself. They never leave the doors unlocked with me. If I am there by myself, I always could go to the bathroom, kitchen, living room. That was it. So that day, the door was wide open, straight down the hallway. I'm looking, and I see my license, my birth certificate, my social security card laying on the dresser.
Wow.
I was like, hold up. So I went to the back and got my stuff. And I was like, let's go. And he was like, damn, you act like you moving like that. And I was like, nah, I need you to drop me off somewhere. So he was like, yeah, I'm leaving because we can't stay out long because I'm leaving and I'm moving to Philly. And I got to drive by myself early in the morning. So I was like, all right, cool. I say, but hey, you want to leave tonight? And he was like, huh? I said, I got my license. I got my DLs. So I showed him my license. We went to the movies, and after the movies, we left. and went to Philly, and I didn't look back.
So this is a guy you had seen before, and he didn't know what was going on before in the house?
No.
He had no idea.
No.
Did you tell him what was happening when you were... So he just, unbeknownst to him, he was basically helping you escape.
Yeah.
Have you, at that time you say he didn't know, did you ever reveal to him at any time?
What did he say?
What did he say?
We got a divorce.
What do you mean we got a divorce?
Yeah, we.
Oh, you guys ended up getting married.
Oh.
He was my boyfriend off and on for a little while.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
This is another twist. All right, so you guys...
It's in the book.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he had no idea all this stuff was happening. This is his family members. You guys...
No, it's not his family.
No, he's
These
dating
are
a
just
cousin.
friends.
Yeah.
Okay, but
They're
okay.
just friends.
So he comes over and whatever, and then all of a sudden when did you finally have the courage to reveal what was happening in this?
2012.
And how long had you guys been together?
Well, we was off and on from 99, off and on, and then we got married. 2002,
Okay.
and he found out 2012.
What made you tell him after being together all that time, you had escaped and you never said anything? Why at that time did you just decide to say something?
I mean, we had filed for divorce and everything. You know, we was, because a lot of it started to come up in our marriage, and I couldn't break down to him what was going on with me because I didn't know how to. And the divorce is final and everything, and someone tried to kidnap my daughter off the number 6 train in New York.
Wow.
So that's what
this
made
is
me
before you became an advocate for all of this.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
And
I
then
was working. I'm a nurse, working in a hospital in New York. So I didn't want anybody to know that life. I was perfect Patty, you know, working in a hospital, got many degrees under my belt as far as in the medical field, and didn't want nobody that life. And today, my kids was like, "Mom, let's take the train." And I was like, "We're not taking no train. Since we've been here in New York, we always had a car." So that day it was nice. So I said, "All right, fuck it, let's get on the train." Got on the train, took him to school, went and picked him up, and on our way home, we found out 72 hours of this person trying to take my daughter. He was a person of interest over here on the West Coast for kidnapping 3 other kids.
wow. What'd you think about that?
Karma.
Yep. That's what I was just going to say.
That's when you went into action and
That's
you
crazy.
said something. I got to do something about this.
Right.
No, my husband now told me I have to do. He was like, "Is God telling you?"
Your husband now. Okay.
He was like, "Is him telling you, yo, it's time for your story to come out. You've been hiding it. You've been seeing so much going on, and you're not paying the signs any attention. It's time." He was like, "It's time. You can't just keep going and keeping everything bottled in. You see stuff on the street. You see it's going on here in the Bronx, and you just walk past like it ain't nothing." I was like, "That's not my business."
No, it is.
I will always say, "That's not my business." You keep your nose out of people's business. And when the guy fractured my daughter's arm, it was just like, really? This is how we gonna play this? Because
she said, hold on. She said it wasn't her business, right? But you traffic young girls. You made it your business then. You know what I'm saying? Fair use copyright disclaimer under section 108 of the copyright allowance is made for fair use for. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much, babe. Y'all got to show me how to get that. Because I was thinking about that when I was playing this. That's why I'm like, let me talk a little bit, after the, between the video. So she made it her business when she was out there getting these girls and boys from churches where they were vulnerable and praising the Lord and doing this and that and doing the right thing. She made it her business to go in there and scheme and traffic them. But when she saw they needed help, she didn't make it her business. This is crazy. This is crazy. But now, when her daughter almost got taken, she said, "Oh, shoot. So people can't. I'm not saying bad about her. I know people could turn their life around because I know I did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just showing the effect and showing how how trafficking is and how they recruit these young girls and boys. She went to the church to get them. She didn't say the supermarket. She said the church. Hey, Deboo. Into it.
With myself, and I always say, you know what, me and God, we beefing. I used to say that all the time, like, we beefing right now. Either I'm gonna win or he gonna win. I don't know. And
girl, it ain't gonna
just
be
so
you to
happened that
win.
morning, I remember saying it to my kids, because they wanted something. And they was like, Mom, let's just pray that we get to go to Disney World. Let's just pray that we get money up. And you don't work so much so we can go to Disney World. I was like, man, God, we at a standstill. Let's see who gonna win. And lo and behold, he gonna win.
Well, he gonna win all the
He
time.
always gonna win, girl.
Thank God that God does win.
That's right.
And thank God for your husband that's currently that encourages you to do that because you're now helping other people. Tony.
Yeah. Woo. That was something. Interesting, huh? Very interesting. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. You know, I'm going to continue to pray that everything goes well with Jackie and her daughter and everyone else. I'm wondering if the police is still going to investigate until they physically see her. Until they physically see her. You know what I mean? Because that's what they said. I mean, that's what the news and things like that said. You know, it still would be an investigation until they physically see this beautiful young lady. It's scary. You know, it's really, really scary. It really is. Um, you know, I worry about my young daughter, Yasmin, because she's 20, but mentally she's not. She's younger because of her mental status, right? And you know that a lot of these sex traffickers allegedly get these young girls and boys on the internet. And she has a thing where she likes to look for men on the internet. They could be in Dallas, Florida. Actually, I think one was in Florida. Anywhere. And she would think that she is in love overnight. Give her 2 days, she crying, she's in love. And that's really scary. And a few times she had made a comment to her adopted mother and said, I'm going to leave, run away, and go live with him. She's never met these men, just a picture or a phone call. And then you have one of them threatening her adopted family. So it's like, things like that is really scary. Girl, don't tell them where the hell I live at, But things like that is really scary. And they will trick you and tell you how much they love you and care about you. Show them some pictures of your body. But how do we protect ourselves from that? How do we protect ourselves from that? I don't know. How do you protect yourself? I'm trying to find something. And it's a shame because even when you look it up, you don't really find anything. I mean, I can tell you to go register yourself to get a pistol, watch your surroundings. But how do you really, really protect yourself? This is really sad, man. It really, really is. Let's listen to this one. Human trafficking and risk factors.
Who is at risk and the tactics traffickers use to recruit, groom, and exploit others. In my time with Unbound, I've educated thousands of youth, school personnel, caregivers, medical professionals, community members, and more. Because I believe that through education and training, we can prevent this exploitation from happening and intervene when it does. Most trafficking situations start because it identifies the unmet needs or desires in a person's life and decides to exploit them. In labor trafficking, common risk factors include immigration status, low levels of education, a debt that needs to be paid off, or being economically disadvantaged. In many cases, labor trafficking victims are brought under false pretenses and kept there through threats and violence. With sex trafficking, common risk factors include a history of previous abuse or exploitation, substance use, homelessness, mental illness, involvement in the commercial sex industry, and low socioeconomic status. With child sex trafficking, common risk factors are running away or homelessness, child sexual abuse, chronic abuse or neglect, identification as LGBTQ, learning disabilities, low socioeconomic status, developmental or cognitive delays, promotion of sexual exploitation by family members or peers, and a lack of personal safety, isolation, emotional distress, substance abuse, mental illness, and a lack of social support. A group that's often under-recognized in child sex trafficking is boys. Male sex trafficking victims may have an even lower chance of identification. Our culture often pictures males as perpetrators of sex crimes and females as victims of sex crimes. And there may even be a greater stigma or felt shame for boy victims that keeps them from reaching out. A study published by Love 146 indicated that male minors may comprise almost half of the commercially sexually exploited youth in our country, but they often identified. The primary risk factor observed for underage male victims is homelessness. Boys may be homeless because they were thrown out of the house or have run away due to family dysfunction, including abuse or familial substance abuse. Many youth who identify as gay or are transgender report having been thrown out of their homes or having experienced significant discrimination, including bullying and abuse. This puts them in an extremely vulnerable position for all sorts of victimization. One thing that may set boys apart is the prevalence of survival sex, often connected to the needs presented by homelessness. Boy victims may be recruited directly by buyers rather than a third-party trafficker. They're more likely to feel a sense of agency, like they are in control of the situation. Therefore, a boy victim may feel less like a victim. They are likely to be drawn in by a buyer offering to meet their needs and provide a sense of belonging. Let's watch this video that portrays the trafficking of a boy and how his friend notices suspicious behavior and takes action. Then we'll dive into the tactics traffickers use to recruit and groom victims.
Oh my god, we got it.
You finally got it.
I know. Wait, how do you get that skin?
That skin, it's on level 3. What was that?
It's nothing, it's just something I do later. How do you get it?
So level 3, about midway through the level, there's a door.
I need to go.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me over.
The tactics of traffickers can be broken down into 4 main themes. First, violence. Traffickers may use violence or threats of violence against their victim or a victim's loved one. Second, lies or false promises. Traffickers may tell the victim that they are going to get a good job in a restaurant only to discover it's actually sex work. Traffickers may paint a dream of money, success, and freedom as bait. We've seen several situations where a pimp convinces a girl to work in a strip club to save up money and gain confidence for a modeling career. Soon after, the pimp forces her into selling sex. Traffickers may also befriend their victim, working to gain their trust. The trafficker may help the victim out, buying them what they need. Over time, however, the trafficker may start convincing the victim that they owe them and need to give something back. Lastly, traffickers may use romance to gain the love and devotion of the victim. According to Polaris Project, this tactic, called boyfriending, is the most common way traffickers initiate a relationship with a potential. An example of this last tactic is a survivor Unbound worked with who we call Macy. On her 16th birthday, Macy was scrolling through her Facebook wall, enjoying the attention of the happy birthdays from dozens of friends, acquaintances, and several people she'd never met before. One message in particular caught her eye. A cute guy she didn't know wishing her a happy birthday with some compliments she hadn't heard in a while. They started messaging back and forth, and pretty soon Macy felt like she was in love. She'd never met someone who understood her so well, empathized with the depression she'd been dealing with, and made her feel so special and beautiful. After talking for a few months, they decided it was time to meet. Macy's mom was protective. As a single mom, she worked hard to make ends meet and raise her kids to be respectful and to focus on school. But one night, Macy snuck out to meet in person with this guy she'd grown so attached to online. That's when she realized the truth. He wasn't 19 like he said, he was 33. Macy used, but at this point she loved him enough to forgive his lie. He said he loved her. He wanted to be with her. That was enough. That's when her nightmare began. This man who won her trust as her boyfriend soon became her trafficker. 6 months
Wow.
later, the Unbound Waco hotline rang. A desperate mother was calling for help. Her teenage daughter had been brutally trafficked, raped at gunpoint, beaten, and abused. With the complex trauma bonding caused by her abuse, her daughter, Macy, kept running away from home and going back to her trafficker. She knew her family was in danger, but she was about to give up hope. She'd been turned down for services too many times due to Macy's health conditions and limited space. Unbound was her final call. Thankfully, Unbound provides crisis response and relational case management to help any human trafficking victim find healing and rebuild a life of freedom. One common tactic of traffickers we see with youth is social media and online gaming, and that's why it's so important for adults to talk to youth about their online safety and monitor their online activity. Messaging and games allow traffickers to hide behind a screen, using whatever names and images they want to build a relationship with their victim.
That's what I'm saying. The internet can be good and it could be poison. Thank God for social media in a sense where if it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't know about missing people, and Jackie's daughter wouldn't have seen that her face is all over social media because she's pissed, She wouldn't have seen her face all over social media. But then you got the predators behind the social media like this, and she's going to tell you exactly what I be afraid of a lot of times when it comes to my child, and maybe when it comes to your children as well.
As in Macy's story earlier, the trafficker pretended to be someone else, building their relationship until she fell in love with him. Child predators and traffickers often use online gaming to groom their victims, especially boys. A predator may befriend a boy through messaging, then start to give him gifts like in-game items or credits. He may then use these favors to manipulate the child to send photos or videos. Once a trafficker has those, they can be used as blackmail to exploit the child further. Another major risk factor for trafficking is sex. With the growth of messaging apps, sexting has become normal among teenagers.
Yep.
They may send a photo to someone they think they can trust and want to gain the favor of, like a crush boyfriend. From there, that person can use that image as blackmail. But it's not always a child on the other end. In February of 2019, a 30-year-old man in North Texas was arrested on charges of producing and receiving child pornography. This man was allegedly pretending to be a young girl with the handle HotGirl8887 on Instagram, and he was convincing young boys to send him nude photos. He would then ask them to commit sexual acts with younger siblings. If the child refused, he would threaten to send the photos to the parents of the child. One of his victims, a 12-year-old boy in North Carolina, became uncomfortable and told an adult, sparking the investigation and arrest. They found photos of other young boys on this man's computer. Everyone has unmet needs and desires. As a community, we need to be aware of those who have many of their basic needs going unmet. These members of our community are the most vulnerable to trafficking. We also must be aware of the role technology plays in drastically increasing the access of predators and traffickers to our young people. Social media apps, texting, and 24/7 contact put any person with a smartphone or web-connected device at risk of being approached by a trafficker. In a recent study of students who were educated through Unbound's youth prevention program called Keep Students Safe, 15% of the participants indicated they recognized the tactics of a trafficker in people who approach them online.
Oh, wow.
By educating yourself and others about the realities of human trafficking, you can be part of saving a life. Take a minute to add the National Human Trafficking Hotline to your phone so you're ready to make a report if needed. It's 1-888-373-7888, or you can text HELP to 233-733. Head to unboundnow.org to learn how you can be involved and support the work of Unbound.
Wow. That was very, very good. That was very, very good. Y'all. Thank you, everyone, for joining this live once again. Information out there. Please hit the like button, share the video. Let's keep Jackie and her family in prayer. And everyone have a blessed weekend and be safe. I'm going to end this video because I have another video I'm going to do, but it's not going to be a live. But do check into that video. It's going to be Alexis Garth. Alexis Garth was murdered in front of her children outside of the house that she just bought. Her mother did speak about it on Facebook. And I did message her mother and she messaged back. Also, the young lady and her baby that was found the other day when we did the story yesterday, I reached out to her family today and they reached out and they're thanking us for doing the story, which was Misha Melendez and Lila Stewart. Misha, 27, and Lila, who was 8 years old, body was found. Remember, we did that story. The boyfriend's in custody. They did the bond and all that. We were so upset about him because the system failed her. Ordered police protection. We'll see what happens with his court day. I would definitely keep you posted with that. But the family did message me and they are saying thank you for reaching out and doing the video. They're actually going to look at the video. So let's keep everyone in prayer. Check out Alexis Garth video next. I have to get it together though. And I'll tell you the time on my wall that it will be going up. Okay? Love you all. Keep safe for the weekend. Also, check out my Facebook True Crime. Link is in the comments. And my podcast Crime that I've been doing for a few years now, but I need to do more of. But that link is also in there. Stories that I be doing on here, I do it on my podcast, on my True Crime, Brooklynsquad True Crime. And I'm going to be working on that also today because I've been doing stories for the last couple of days live. So I need to put it on that also. I started that podcast, Brooklyn True Crime, when I started doing Jelani Day, a little bit after. So I've had that podcast up for a while, a long time now. I just don't really talk about it. All right, guys. I love you, Brooklyn Squad. And have a blessed, blessed weekend. And I will see you soon. Peace. And thank you all for the love and support.